How is it that you turn up as soon as I turn the console on? Hmm? Well, I didn't mean for you to leave. Capricious little creature. Mm-hmm. Now, Sekiro. Honestly, I'm more in a Cthulhu kind of mood today, but I was thinking about maybe getting the Call of Cthulhu RPG on a whim, but I held off for now. Haven't played it, only seen parts of it. But I decided I'd rather try to get this done, or at least a little bit further along. I guess I might as well invest the money I have. Change form. I have the Sekiro skin. So that's the sculptor in his gear. Well, but I've been quite clear on the fact that I want to get the Shura skin. So I'm hopeful if the Demon of Hatred skip deigns to function today reliably. Oh. That should not take too long. Off to a good start. Wow. This is going poorly all around. Kill is a kill. That was bad. Well, at least I can recoup my lost resources on her. So yeah, anyway. Whilst I would much rather do something in regards to Elder Gods, I guess I should try to finish something instead. The one time that move actually Well, he just kind of wants to die, I guess. Wow. Wow. I shouldn't have said that. Jesus. Could this get any more scuffed? Well, I have a mortal blade. Hmm. Hmm. No idea how that missed. Oh. That's bad timing, little kitty cat. Hmm. What? So I used up the pellets instead of the healing gourd. Oh. The fact that I suddenly had a cat on my foot also didn't help. I know, excuses, excuses. I have them. Come here. I guess he's... he seems to have found his adoration for the tree. Close. Worked yesterday once. Ah, that was jumped too early. I guess there is no real consistent method of doing this, which I guess is for the better. But still. It's not that I necessarily mind fighting this boss, it's just... it takes long. I know, more excuses. It's just, I want that skin. Close. quite a couple of fun things related to Cthulhu you could do, I think, aside from the RPG. I've been running Call of Cthulhu groups for a good while now, so that would be fun as well, but I don't think the members of my group would necessarily want to do it publicly. Also, we're running the game in German, of course. I'm not sure about the feasibility of doing it in English. Oh. Keep on doing that, please, Al. Gets stabbed. Missed me. Oh, beautiful finish. But again, first try. Hmm. I'll take it. Now what? Deep within the mind, the father stirred. The man Wolf confronted in memory was more than Al could ever have hoped to be. Shura, memories left behind by another. Concentrate on these inmost regrets and obsessions at a sculptor's idol to change the wolf's appearance. Has no effect on ability. Memory of Shura, told via Ashina folk song. Fields of bodies, mountains of dead. Down Dragon Spring River our country bled. A fiery god, demon wolf in red. Shura. I really like the singed and fairly loosely clad Ronin aesthetic, I would call it. One eye. Burning within. Kind of strange that he's barefoot, I guess. Oh, well, it's bandages, isn't it? Hard to tell. But I guess the snow underfoot will just be a nice form of cooling down. And leaves only Inner Ishin to be conquered, as well as the game 2 more times. Again, I kind of expected this to take longer. Might as well. Oh, I wanna give it a try first. The path to Ishin is also the worst one, the most annoying one. If you could not skip Demon of Hatred, well, it could have been the Shura path that's most annoying, but probably just need to. Oh. And then he poises through that. Jumping forward carries me too far, but great. I don't think that has to do with hesitation. You're just poising through my attacks. Anyway.
Sekiro.
That's not. So what? Oh, come on. I'd actually like to. Nah. do whatever. You do you. Turning his back to me. Should have either Mikiri countered that. Oh, Come on, Ishin. Jump. Okay, phase 3. Fair enough. I guess this timeline is lost as well.
Sekiro.
As Shura triumphs again. After that completely hopeless try, or pointless try, the second attempt, well, considering how badly it started off, I'm quite surprised it worked out. Never actually had a look around after the Shura ending. Sealed from the other side, fair enough. I can head to the dojo, but I guess the door will be closed upstairs, eh? Oh yeah, forgot about you. Magnetic foot technique. Cut that one close. Oh no, the door's open. Oh yes, I need to actually use the memory. So I guess we killed Kuro. So this is our fortress now. For the next, what, 5 hours? The Inner Father. Al once abandoned the young wolf in Usui Forest, expecting him to fend against the illusions, likely never to return. Only in victory would he recognize the boy as his son. In this way, and in this way alone, he raised the wolf as his own. Brings a tear to my eye, how sentimental old Al was. Now it works. Fair enough. Well, I guess I put in the title that I would be moving on to NG+2, didn't I? Might as well. It's gonna start hurting now, the game.
一心の国取りから24年。アシナの国は斜陽にあり。狼の忍びはすべてを失っていた。育ての義父も守るべき主も。
忍びよ、目覚めてください。あなたの主のために。
The cherry blossom. Maybe signalizing our return to the living. Have we been in this and as well for what, 4 years? We must have continued to starve and die over and over again, reanimating without even knowing. Way too early. I know that I want to do the snake ending next.
井戸底におるあの忍び、特に稼などしておりませんが、構わぬのでしょうか。
大事ない。刀もなく気力すらない。奴はもうただのふぬけよ。
I'm still debating on whether or not I want to listen to the dialogue. After having skipped all of it in the Shura ending, or for the Shura playthrough. Boop, bonked my head.
よく来てくれた。久しいな、狼よ。
お迎えに参上いたしました。我が主。
表を上げよ。くさび丸、そなたの刀だ。我が忍びよ。主従の約定に従い、命を賭し、我に仕えよ。
御意。
狼よ、そなたの体、その後大事はないか。
その後とは。
あの世のこと、覚えておらぬのか。
はい。
いや、司祭は後にしよう。今はこのアシナの城を脱さねばならぬ。
御意。
堀沿いに進んだ橋の下に場外への抜け穴がある。一心様よりそう聞いたことがある。まずはその橋下の抜け穴を見つけてきてほしい。見つけたらそうだな、足の歯笛で合図をくれるか。ほら昔聞かせてくれたであろう。こうピーッとな。その音を頼りにそなたのもとへ行こう。狼よ、そなたからも何かあるのか。
いえ。
そうか。
Now I know it's hard mode if you give him the charm. I never really had the energy or the intent. I never really saw a reason to mess with that, to be quite honest. Hmm. Kind of expect also to be to have the skin equipped, but I guess there is no other skin with the model of the arm. Shigenori Yamauchi. What skill can I equip? How about that? Assassin's already at work.
狼をよく見つけてくれた。さあ、参ろう。
御意。
He catches up quite quickly, doesn't he? And again,
血の定めから逃れることしかできぬとはな。この城を出ていずこへ参ろうか。まずはアシナの国を離れるか、あるいはどこかに身を隠すか。そなたはどう思う？
御意のままに。
御意か。そなたは変わらぬな。
は。
いや、懐かしいと思うてな。さあ、参ろう。
then again, there's no way to, of telling how long we've been waiting for Kuro to catch up. Genichiro, the ever-present adversary.
久しいな、巫女よ。叔父上の墓前以来か。
源一郎殿、私はすまぬ。
お任せを。
邪魔立てするか、巫女の忍びを。芦名源一郎、参る。
Oh, Genny boy. Oh! Didn't expect the grab. Kinda expected a... large arcing slash. Oh. And one. Now he's gonna school me for being too honorable.
Oh, not it.忍びよ、卑怯とは言うまいな。巫女はもらっていくぞ。
But I guess he probably couldn't have been killed either at this point already. Now, we don't know how much time exactly passes from this moment until we wake at the sculptor's temple. Sounds to me like something between a week or two. Could just be 1 or 2 days, but it's definitely not the same day. We took a good blow to the head apparently. Okay.
この左腕、俺に何をした？
そいつは忍び義手。石腕の狼にはおあつらえ向きの牙じゃろうて。仏を掘るには無用でな。お前さんにくれてやる。
忍び義手。
そいつはただ失った腕を補うもんじゃない。任務を見つけたらわしのところに持ってくるがいい。
任務だと？そうか、このからくり。
察しがいいな。任務を持ってきたら忍び義手に仕込んでやる。そうすりゃその義手のありがたみがわかるじゃろうさ。喋りすぎたな。いい気な。お前さんもそうじゃが、この荒れ寺にはおかしな客がまあまあ訪れる。寺を出て右手の広場にもそうした者が一人おる。妙なことになっておる者同士、気が合うかもしれんな。
Now, curiously, there's nothing enshrined in here. This could be blood, could be wax. Maybe maybe he kept the prosthetic in there before he had to save us. I guess it's likely that Emma told him of what happened to us, so he could go and fetch us. And the easiest way to do that would be if he used the prosthetic one last time before he maybe both of them together applied it to our arm. Of course, we are gonna change into Shura gear. That's what all the work has been for. Not gonna look strange at all once we hit the story beats, surely. I don't need to really mess with him. I could have used the Mortal Blade to free him of the curse of the centipede living inside of him. But I don't think I need the training dummy function he offers. And I tend to forget about the self-killing items. Even if they would be quite helpful in certain situations. But that's just kind of what I do. I marvel at things and forget about them. Ashina. The third time. I'm looking forward to actually interacting with the child rejuvenating waters. I've done that very little during my time with the game. It could be nice and send Kotaro over to the other children. In the afterlife. That is more or less what he wants. Hi. 3 hits. It takes 3 hits to kill one. Can't quite tell if that was a successful parry or just semi-successful. I gotcha. I gotcha. Oop. I gotcha. I gotcha, alright. That's kinda lame. I pushed him out of the effect range. I still have the spear equipped from the monkey. Well, at least the wolves are still one shuriken kill. No? No drops. Once again I get distracted by the feline. Little fluffy feline at my side. Decided to claim the chair to my left. Seeing the rooster, how many scales do I currently have? 7. I could buy the first mask piece once I come to Rata Estate. I probably... oh well. There is no point in putting the mask together just yet. Still so many skills to get. And they do get ludicrously expensive at some point. Oh.
この戦、果たして勝てるものかのう。どうにも悪い予感がするのじゃ。何の弱気なことを。両親とはいえ、一心様はご健在。源一郎様の弓も見事なものじゃ。加えて、鬼行部様もおるではないか。おお、鬼は行部正隆様か。確かにあのお方と鬼影が共にあれば、大手門が抜かれるなど考えられぬわ。
That is why the inner ministry is attacking from this side of the valley. I am failing the parkour aspect of the game quite harshly. Something like that. Where are you? Oh. It's up there. How did you get there? Shut up. Can't have you giving away my position now, can I? It doesn't really matter if they know where I am. Still much too strong. Don't interfere with my duel. Oh. I forgot that you could add to the combo another attack. Do I even know anything about the games I play? Do I even know anything? Doesn't look like it. Like it. Well, at least it should have been all enemies aside from the roosters. Let's be silent and honorable this time around.
おお、伊之助か、せがれよ。若様を見なかったかの。なんじゃ、黙ってしもうて。腹でも痛いかの。そなたは昔から腹を下しやすかったな。まあよい。せがれよ。この鈴をそなたに託そう。若様のことを案じ作った守り鈴じゃ。この守り鈴を仏様にお供えしておくれ。
The only reason to head into Hirata Estate now is the damage upgrade you get for beating Lady Butterfly. Which might be worth it. Didn't pick up that one. Well, still older. Or lost savings. Now surely the main reason Ashina falls in the end is still because we went through all these areas and killed everyone we could find. Considering, well, most soldiers should be dead and not just respawn because we sit at a Buddha statue. I know there's a way to go, there's something over here. It's just another one of those things I don't tend to bother with. I know there's also the Demon Bell that I haven't gone to because of the headless living in the same mountain. Not that you ever have to interact with it, just can ignore it basically. For what it's worth. It's kind of painful that you can't kill the roosters and the normal soldiers with one of these combos. Anyhow. Let's get Anayama rolling.
見覚えのある顔だ。ああ、忍びの旦那だ。いや、あの世以来ですね。
Don't think you could forget this face.
あ
I want to say nothing.
旦那、
Can I cancel it after? Too late.
旦那、覚えてねえんですか？へえ、なるほど、覚えてねえと。なあ旦那、あっしはあんたに会ったことがある。その頃は賊をやってやした。それから足を洗って物売りを始めたんでさ。が、銭がない。銭がないから品もない。そこで旦那、あっしにちーとばかし銭を用立てていただけやせんか。それを元手に旦那にもきっと役立つ品を仕入れやす。それからおまけにあの世のこと話して差し上げやしょう。どうです？悪い話じゃねえでしょ。
I have 10 cents.
銭だ。
旦那、ありがてえ。
話してくれ。
ああ、もちろんでさ。あの世、あっしらは平田の屋敷に押し入りやした。平田はご存知の通り芦名の分家。ちんけな野党なんざ普通は返り討ちです。けど先だっての戦の折だ。若い侍はほとんど出払ってたんでさ。そこを狙って押し入りやして、そんで火をつけ奪った。その最中でさ、旦那と会ったのは。旦那は何かを探してた。そんな風に見えやしたね。あっしが知ってるのはそんなもんでさ。
そうか。
ああ、あの世もちょうどそんな顔してやした。今も何かをお探しで？ねえ旦那、お題さえいただけりゃ他にも知りたいことをお教えできるかもしれやせん。ぜひ情報を買ってください。
I'm sure it's the time be convoluted, yo, type of face he's making.
情報を買おう。
お買い上げ。ああ、なんたって旦那は忍びでさ。忍びの道具の情報を教えて差し上げやしょう。
頼む。
あっし、すげえ勢いで火が出る筒を見かけたことがありやす。平田屋敷の押し入りの時、あっしの仲間がぶんどったもんです。ボーボーってな調子ですげえ勢いで火を吹いてやしたよ。
持っている。
え？
それならば持っている。
おお、そいつは残念。忍びねえんでこいつをおまけで差し上げやしょう。
Oh, he still gives us something, even if we don't need the
いただいた銭を元手に品を仕入れてきます。
intel.
旦那。
He's gonna set up his shop. And we are going to move on. Oh bother. Well, nobody noticed. Guess everything is fine. I do think with a Gutchin sugar we should be able to kill these two without alerting the ogre. I guess he is calling out. Because there is that stealth. Yeah. Burn for me. Oh. Bye. See ya. Oh, that's gonna kill me. Well, at least it didn't fling me. Yeah, I know about Resurrection. I've played the game a couple of times before. No, oh god. All's well that ends well, I guess. Do I want to... miss the wall. I do think I just wanna... miss the wall again. Just kind of ran off. It's not that hard to pull off. Or it shouldn't be, at least. Being dumb. Or Sekiro is being dumb because... I don't think that'll make... Come on now. I hate how he just leaps off it. And then he actually hit the wall to jump again. Oh, okay, that already counts as the... Sekiro! Try to grab on too early. I considering that you can kinda jump whilst you're already in the air. And that's painful. It's not that hard. And then there's moments like these. Finally. How you doing? Apparently I've come to sample your poison. Whoop. Doesn't even cure me. Oh, does not heal poison. Has that always been the case? Again, what do I even know about these games? What do I even know? How have I come this far with not understanding how these basic mechanics work? It's quite the mystery. That's normal. He was old and frail. Oh. general? It is. Where is he? Oh. How am I this blind? Ooh. I could target the gecko. Gonna pick up the singular divine confetti. You get, which is not nearly enough. To earn back if you value your life. You can't behead the headless. Our swords and pikes did nothing. And that's why they took down the bridge. Which I'm sure is for the better. If there ever was one, could just be a mountainside shrine. But then again, why leave the note if there never was a way over? Food for thought. Any items are left behind? Not really. Yet another general we killed that can't defend these, well, Ashina Castle from the township side. The fact that we're gonna kill Gyobu does not help, although nobody is gonna attack from the front. Mainly thanks to the sculptor. And, well, having Genichiro out on his own little pilgrimage in search for his own mortal blade won't bolster up the defenses. And even if maybe there was a slight chance everything would have worked out if the resurrected Ishin had stayed around, well, we made sure that that didn't happen either. How'd he do? I'm coming for you, Snack. This is the playthrough. This is the playthrough where you die. Gonna take one eye for now. Coming for the other one. I don't need the snap seed. What? That's... I'm just gonna casually... Never had that happen before. It's not gonna be a problem, is it? Ooh, that was close. Righteous snack anger. I don't necessarily take pride in announcing that I'll murder you, but it needs to be done we are to take Lord Kuro. Want to take him west. Needs to be done. Nobody knows a thing. It's like nothing at all happened. Really? That's basically the one thing that could have happened. It won't let me stealth kill them. Charge me. I am gonna try to do this with the Blood Blade as good as I can. I'm gonna rush this. Ooh, I'm... messes him up. Wow. It doesn't last long. But the damage that dealt was incredible. Really? Ashina Drift. Horse does not really like being set on fire. Nope. Gyobu Masataka Oniwa, Keeper of the Ashina Castle Gate. 25,500 XP points. I'll take it. What do you have for sale? Scrap iron and black gunpowder. I'm gonna take 10 of each. I don't think I'll need any more of these starting items. I'm gonna need the mid-level and high-level items. Fortunately, the high-level stuff only appears in the burning Ashina bits, if I remember correctly. But again, what do I know? Probably it's gonna be all over the place. But I don't think it'll be. At least it won't be common until Fountainhead Palace. Gonna meet the Tengu because there is, well, apparently Ishin isn't in his room until you've dealt with the Tengu's task. Yeah. Mezumi じゃねえ。
いや、その目。飢えた狼か。切る前に名を聞いてやる。名乗りわしに名乗る名などないか。忍びは大概そうじゃ。名乗らず死におる。じゃが、その左腕、忍び技師とは懐かしい。なるほど。石腕の狼か。気に入ったぞ。ならば、赤ロ。お主をそう呼ぼう。お前は何だ。わしはアシナの天狗よ。おう赤ロ。お主もネズミ狩りをせぬか。何だと。このアシナにはネズミが入り込んでおる。うじゃうじゃと我が物顔でな。ネズミもいろいろじゃが、それを片端から切り捨てるのよ。どうやらお主にも人斬りの才がある。その才を磨くのに役立とう。どうじゃ赤ロ。ネズミ狩りをせぬか。承知した。よし。
よし。
ならばこれをくれてやる。これはネズミの顔、それと巣穴じゃ。切ってまいれ。さすればお主の戦に役立つものをやろう。
don't really have a choice in regards to the hunting Nezumi part. Let's hope it's not a Jesus statue. Oh. Again, something I care very little about. Even if it is, in general, a nice item to have. But much like the bite down stuff, and, well, not quite sure what the version of the item is that uses itself up. I don't tend to use these actively. I wanted to enhance attack power. Gyobu. Genichiro Ashina's most trusted retainer. Could make less sound. Well, that's more or less the only thing that I can get. Shadow Rush is expensive. Like nothing else. World Over is something that sounds very nice in theory, but then again, well, I guess it is kind of oh my god, what's happening kind of skill, because you should not actually be using it, because you shouldn't be fighting more than one enemy at once. I'm gonna get the upgraded stealth again. I now have most of these. I probably should just open the door, shouldn't I? And kill myself a rat. Rat. Nezumi o kiru. The way of the shinobi. No one noticed a thing. Black gunpowder. Oh, I hit him eventually. I guess that's all that counts. Fire dance on the watchtower. Can parry dance on the Tengu. Sekiro knows better than to do that.
Oh, ネズミを買ったようじゃな。
はい。
やはりお主には人斬りの才がある。よし、褒美じゃ。取っておけ。これは足流派だ。ネズミ狩りに。
ネズミ狩りに。It's the third Ashina text we got. Again, the way of the ninja, silent and deadly. Nobody will know a thing. I guess I can... go for the bull. Oh, my health. Oh. There is one back here. I want my health back, so I'm gonna kill this guy. Why? What? What's going on? I'm wasting countless spirit emblems. What? That had to be one of the dogs that saw me. Because that guy clearly didn't. This group of enemies is also kind of scuffed because they should be patrolling the area together, I guess. Oh. Boop. I don't think I'll mess with the Hammer Bros. I'm here for the bull and for entry into Ashina Castle. Charge. Could have waited until I told you to charge me. Not just poke at me. But there is... I'm pretty sure there's an item or two up here I like. And that's the exit from the reservoir. They took out that bridge, likely for safety reasons. Like, that's death. Ashina looks like it should be located in northern Japan, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be fairly central and, or at least, I guess I read somewhere, I believe I said this before, that Mount Kongo is supposed to be around Osaka, which would put Ashina fairly central in Honshu. And isn't there... Oh, can't you see the Fuji? Isn't that white cloud beyond the castle? Around Mount Fuji? Now I am gonna go for the Blood Blade. Yikes. Can't you just let me... That's not really worth it. Well, you kind of missed me, I guess. Some things... Doesn't feel right, does it? The way this fight is going. Ah, that's kind of mean. Bonk. Poor bull. Come on, charge me. Yes. And once again, Ashina Castle. Simpoji, oh Simpoji.
ありがたいや、ありがたいや。
何を拝んでいる？
はい。お前さん、千宝寺を知らんのかい？金剛山の千宝寺。尊いお方がそこにはおわす。お前さんも拝んでみ。ありがたいや、ありがたいや。
Is there an easy way to quickly have a get to a point where you have a view of the other side of the castle area? I guess the easiest way would actually be just to head back over to the Ashina area, not Ashina Castle. Well, seems cloudy. Not high enough. Still missing a large chunk. Can't see. Maybe from the view tower. The Mune tower. I'm gonna just gonna have a gander real quick. Not here to achieve anything. I am quite honestly thinking about stopping already because I've come along much further than I had intended to originally. Because the inner father fight just kinda folded before me. Bye, I guess. It was an advanced tactical maneuver. Apparently. I had no idea he could... Second death, immediately Dragonrot. Well, that's a good reason to stop. Jesus. That's kinda unfair, game. I know it's a new game plus 2, but immediately Dragonrotting me. This is really just the second death. Died once to the ogre. Because he kinda, well, he RTK'd me out of nowhere. But and now a second death due to, well, shameful display, apparently. It was funny up until this point, and now I'm disappointed in the game. Gonna have to deal with that. Haven't even met Emma yet. Because I haven't returned to the temple. Oh well. I'm just not gonna deal with that. Not now. I don't wanna ignore everything like I did with the Shura path, because the Shura ending is fairly quickly achieved compared to the standard ending, especially if you go for the hidden owl fight and all the extras on the first playthrough. Is the second Shura playthrough a fairly short affair, especially if you skip dialogues and cutscenes. And that's the point where I probably would be advised to switch this to just chatting as a category, but I can't really do that on the console. Another reason to invest into an actual setup, I guess. Well, I was already thinking about what I could do. I started this whole stream for today off by saying I'm actually in a Cthulhu kind of mood. Cat doesn't care. She gets her pets and her belly rubs when she's happy. Yes, you are happy, aren't you? But there isn't that much Cthulhu to be had on the PlayStation, at least, as it turns out. Much more. There is, well, not that much more availability on PC. There aren't many good Cthulhu games, especially recently. It doesn't really, apparently, the Cthulhu genre doesn't really lend itself well to most forms of media. I don't know why. If most people don't get the concepts. Movies tend to suffer because someone usually executives, producers, and the suit level of production quality is usually all about making it fiscally viable and all that, and more marketing buzzwords. So the Lovecraftian vein of horror tends to suffer because that doesn't gel well with the modern idea of horror or or movies in general in Hollywood currently. Still, it is shifting a little bit. There is a large market for slow burn cosmic horror, but it doesn't really get tapped into all that well. The Nicolas Cage movie Color of Space was a good attempt, but it also suffers from the same problems. It's too flashy for its own good. Aside from also the fact that it is a hugely missed opportunity by not having the movie be black and white and only the color out of space be actual colored, and whatever it touches maybe regaining or getting color added to it. That would have been an incredible creative choice. But I do believe some guy from the higher up team, someone high up the food chain, probably decided, can't finance that. That's a risk. And I guess they only take so many risks when Nicolas Cage is already involved. He isn't even that bad actor. He's just he's an acquired taste. I do believe. He has a very, very special style of doing stuff. There aren't many games either. You have the official Call of Cthulhu RPG from 2018, I believe it was. It's been a while already. Dark Corners of the Earth is the El Clasico, and then you have the odd RPG/tactics game popping up. Some of them made in RPG Maker. And well, Sunken City is one that pops up. That was fairly recently. Played it on the Switch. So without any graphical fidelity whatsoever, it was a nice game. Entertaining, but I don't really see the need to have added again. I guess Cthulhu makes too many cameos and too many games because of the open licensing status of the IP to merit many games. Bloodborne is one of the best attempts at creating a cosmic horror story that actually managed to capture a broader audience. And I guess there is an argument to be made that this also holds true for Elden Ring. Elden Ring is just slightly further down the line, and it's not horror, it's still fantasy. Dark fantasy, mind you, but ever since Demon Souls, I do think the Souls era of games, and whilst Elden Ring not technically belonging to the Souls games because of naming wise, it's built on the same principles as opposed to even Bloodborne, that shares a lot of DNA with the Dark Souls and Demon Souls of this world, but there are some fundamental differences that put it apart, and into a distinct niche of the market, or even just the Miyazaki-san's portfolio, much like Sekiro. But yeah, if you delve into the Outer Gods and even just the Greater Will, Elden Ring is cosmic horror in some sense. There's quite a lot of horrific stuff going on or that went on at some point or another that holds a large influence over the lands between, and what America does or has done. So there aren't many video games, although, well, the problem with any medium that tries to showcase cosmic horror and the mind-bending aspects of it in a visual sense of the concept always faces some general problems. Most things are scarier if they are left to the imagination, or are only, well, not even shown in glimpses. You always have the problem that if you can have the best, most vile monster design anybody could ever create, and then you put some lighting on it, shadows falling weirdly, and it looks hilarious. It just kind of looks dumb. That's always the problem with, especially these large lumps of flesh sacks. The more, well, how to put it? The more tentacle-ridden eldritch creatures always tend to be. Now, there are good reasons for certain themes reoccurring and returning over and over and over again with these types of monsters or gods, and all of these are mainly based in our own physiology and the way our own brain picks up on biological traits. Generally speaking, for most people, spiders are a fear or a source of either fear or uneasiness, mainly because our brain cannot really process how a spider functions. Too many limbs working in a strange unison that just kind of sets us off. And I don't really know, or the same probably holds true for all insects as well, but the fact that they have 2 limbs less appears to make a large difference. There's also the fact that most insects are considered in some shape or form harmful because the larger ones can be either dangerous, as in wasps, or, well, dangerous for anybody who has allergies, which are more common nowadays, or some are just generally associated with sickness, illness, and just general uncleanliness. Cockroaches, for instance. So they just set off some general ideas and problems. Humanity as a whole has evolved around, and while spiders, on the other hand, can be quite dangerous if they are poisonous. Venomous? They should be venomous, shouldn't they? Poisonous is when you eat it, and venomous is if it's ingested into the bloodstream? I do tend to get these mixed up. Oh, I have my CPE, my C2 graded degree, with a very good grade even, but, well, could always say I'm not a native speaker, so getting those mixed up isn't probably that bad. Anyhow, spiders generally are more helpful than dangerous in most cases. And the really large ones are the more dangerous ones. But that doesn't really lend itself as to why a lot of people are afraid of any old spider, no matter how small. There's these small jumping spiders that aren't even as big as the nail on your pinky finger. I had one of those living in my under my windowsill in the heater whilst I was living in the city, and that was an interesting little creature, about able to jump at least 30 to 40 centimeters in height, which was kind of impressive. But the interesting aspect was I had my bed at the time fairly close to the heater, or to that part of to that wall in general. And on my nightstand I usually had my laptop for watching videos, playing games, etc. So when I sat at my laptop on my bed, the spider always came out of the heater and set itself on top of it and just kind of watched me. So we ended up watching each other. It was kind of harmonious. Now, I'm not a big fan of spiders either, I have to say. That's poor phrasing. I do think spiders are very helpful creatures, and I'd rather keep a couple of spiders in my apartment or in my house than the myriad of other insects that could be abound. But I do tend to keep my distance. I'm not afraid in a way that I can't have them around, but I don't need to have them close, and I don't want to have them close either. So a little bit of both is what I'm saying. Now, just had a realization: if this all doesn't pick up because the PlayStation doesn't like my microphone settings today again, this is gonna be ridiculous. Just standing around for 20 minutes on this little roof, and longer, no matter. I don't really know when I do want to call it for today, but I do also kind of want to finish my point. Anyway, I can do whatever in these games, can't I? Nobody's really watching anyway right now, so it doesn't matter what I do. It's also a form of freedom. Not all that fulfilling, but freedom. Anyways, spiders. So the multi-limbed aspect of these outer gods or Cthulhian creatures stems just from the fact that our brain cannot really process how a spider works. That goes for any creature with even more legs as well. That's why millipedes and centipedes are generally also amongst the creepy crawlies. Most people have this deep-rooted disgust for. Although those, I believe more of those are actually harmful and dangerous in a even for us sense, compared to spiders at least. There's that, and then there's of course tentacles, mostly known in with arthropods, or is that no legs? Because snails are also amongst, we don't know how they function. Basically anything that has less than 4 limbs is beyond humans. The human capacity of understanding on a general level. Snails, how do they work? Octopi, how do they work? It's always the same. They are just too different to our own body. Now, of course, in a biological sense or in a scholarly sense, it's not all that difficult to understand how these creatures function, what their deal is, and having that amount of knowledge really tends to positively influence whether or not somebody has a fear or phobia in regards to these animals or not. And then there's just stuff you look at and you go ugh. Like the face of a crab, for instance. Just it looks like a food process, and it is. It basically just is. The mandibles of a spider are bad enough, but look at the mandibles of a crab, and well, it's a whole different story. So, and of course that is why most of these things, tentacles, the sliminess of the body, the bulginess of the flesh, and of course also the amount of limbs, less or more than 4, less and more than exactly 4, probably I should say, and general shapes and forms often repeat themselves in these designs. And even the most well thought out creatures of these of the ilk tend to resemble most aspects of these phobias. The Great Cthulhu, for instance, tentacles, check. Large, flabby, blob-like body, partially, check. He doesn't need more than 4 main limbs, but he has wings, which can count as 2 more, and a tentacle face, which obscures completely how his face functions, which is also another point that ticks off a lot of people. So, and he is the poster child of the mythos and of course of the general concept of cosmic horror. Despite him not being very cosmic at all, but and if you go by Bloodborne's interpretations of of certain of the elder gods or the old ones, again, same boxes. Mother causes body on the shoreline of the fishing hamlet. A strange mixture of fairly firm body and just gelatin-like white flesh. Making it distinctly a sea creature, or making her distinctly a sea creature. The amygdala have the tentacle face, they have the many limbs, and the very, very strange a head. Anything with more than 2 eyes as well is a problem for humans, as you usually can only look at a single thing in focus, and even with the 2 eyes we have, so we can't. It's just too much for us and our tiny little brains. And yet still, with all of this, there's always the question, how disgusting should a design be? How how fearsome should a design look like. And some of them are able to encapsulate both in an intriguing manner. Take, for instance, Ebrietas from Bloodborne. But a lot of these things just kinda end up as, well, silly. Now, Bloodborne has quite the functional league of creatures. But general descriptions of maybe even Azathoth, going back to the OG, even Cthulhu, can, if they are done wrong, look incredibly silly. They're just, well, large fleshy blobs, tentacles here, a limb there, maybe an eye or 8 at some place. They are always gonna leave that questionable feeling behind, I'm pretty sure, no matter how you look at it. But if you put it to film or into a video game, you can easily get to a point where it just falls flat in what it tries to do. Especially because these things aren't ominous anymore. That's what makes that's what works for some of these creatures, especially in Miyazaki's, or with Miyazaki games. Uden is a central great one in Bloodborne. More or less the reason why anything is happening in Yharnam is because of Uden and the general worship of the outer god. And the fact that he likes to impregnate women that have certain blood types or illnesses. So, And those special children are the reason other great ones also pay attention to Yharnam. Now, Uden as a great one, who exists only in voice, is the most foreign concept of the whole lot of great ones that get presented in Bloodborne. And the fact alone that you cannot see him and only speculate about his functionality, whereabouts, and all the assorted things related to him makes him a much more interesting and a much more compelling concept compared to, well, the moon presence even. The moon presence is functions a lot in the same way until you get to the end of the game where it hovers down from its blood moon and sniffs you. Whether or not it goes, or whether or not it accepts you as a surrogate or views you as a rival that needs to be snuffed out, doesn't really matter, although you have a lot more time to have a better look at it if you're going for the Ascension ending, naturally, as you hack it to bits. But it's just it's a strange. You can call it moon octopus, but well, all the tentacles are just tails, so it's a moon Amaterasu, a moon nine-tailed fox demon, nine-tailed wolf demon, nine-tailed werewolf god. So depending on where you stand from, you either it looks cool or it doesn't. Uden, you have no idea. And same goes, of course, for the gods presented in Elden Ring, and that is surely one of the main reasons why we have no real way to grasp any of these, the outer gods or the greater will in Elden Ring, because they are much more intriguing that way. Now that is to say, the Elden Beast is just an avatar of the divine will, and I don't think it should be viewed as representative to the form of the divine will, if it even has one. Golden glowing Nessie, Space Nessie. The goddess of Rot, or Rot as a concept, is just from the get-go a very strange one compared to a lot of them, especially considering the Rot goddess is likely the outer god that is winning by a country mile, aside from maybe the greater will. But the way things are going, it's likely the Rot goddess would or will overpower the Erdtree and the divine will at some point, no matter if there is a whatchamacallit, whether or not there is a new Elden Lord or not, and how much you done to repair the Golden Order and the Erdtree or not. But the Unseen Mother is as well. That is the quintessential, has no form, outer god in Elden Ring. Although she has a body, as is well evident by the blood flame incantations that mostly just rip the blood straight out of her. So she's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I do wonder how much of Godwyn is considered a contender to becoming an outer god. But well, I've drifted off quite far from where I was going. In the end, cosmic horror does not lend itself very well to visual media. Despite the fact that there are quite a few board games in that regard about Cthulhu and friends. Apparently I'm getting tired again because I did so much today. Ooh. I one-tapped the Inner Father. That was something. And I killed a nation. After, what, 2 tries? 3 tries? Didn't do shurs. Ugh. Anyway. Trying to... ramble. Bramble. If you came for Sekiro gameplay, gonna be disappointed today. And why? Because the game decided to give me Dragonrot after a second death. I guess it's just it's a good showcase that it is random whether or not when you can contract Dragonrot. Didn't even meet Emma. At least it's not much of a quest line. Just have to talk to people for 20 minutes, do a fetch quest. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe even only 10, and it's dealt with. But I'm not in the mood. Game, thanks. Thanks very much. Gonna have a look at that tomorrow or the day after, depending on whether or not I'm still feeling like Cthulhu tomorrow, or maybe like Stormwell. anyhow. I am in the middle of writing my own little Call of Cthulhu adventure to test out with my group at some point. I don't. We're stuck in the Mask of Nyarlathotep campaign, and I have a group of people I like very much, but I can honestly say, if it comes to investigating the mythos, well, they're not very effective. Of course, a very dangerous and long and large campaign like the Masks always require a certain. It's like a tightrope balance act between, well, there's 50 cultists in every hideout, so you kind of have to go in there to find something, but how do you deal with the cultists? What's the general idea? Should we get the police involved? Well, that's a whole load of work, and does it pay off? Is this even the right hideout? Should we scout out something else? Should we do something else entirely? The open form, do what chapter you want and what order you want form of the Mask does not make this easier, although it can be a very rewarding experience, even if it is very hard to actually figure out what you're supposed to do. And I can only say, my group, they don't really have an idea what they're trying to do. But that is, I guess, mainly compounded by the fact that we managed to get a session in every couple of months. I like how the book itself describes the campaign as if you play once or twice per month, every week, or was it no? Every week or every other week, you should finish in a year. Oh, well, how long has it been? I guess we're working on our 7th or 8th year with the Masks. They've been stuck in Cairo for at least 2.5 years now. Mainly, it's been not even quite 2 or about 2 weeks in game time, but we managed in the whole of 2022, we managed 2 sessions of maybe 5 or 6 hours. So yeah, and it isn't really all that surprising that they're not making any headway. Far too far apart. Nobody is reading up on their own stuff. Which is a bit frustrating, to be quite honest. But I don't think that comes much as to the surprise of well, pretty much anybody. If we manage to play the game, it is fun. I do enjoy being game master, although I would relish more opportunities to play the game, but instead of running it. I wouldn't consider myself being a stellar game master either. Many problems. Not that I get much of a chance to practice with 2 sessions a year, which is not the least we managed this far. Not the most by far, but It's a bit sad that we had well, not holiday retreat. We had extended family of one of our players. They own oh well, they have a little extra apartment for vacationing, or well, to rent out to people vacationing in a certain area. And we had our Call of Cthulhu retreats over the last couple of years. Well, it's been a while already. It's about 2020, 2019, 2018, around that time. A couple of times, and I thought they were really fun. A weekend, 2 days, 2.5 days of mainly Call of Cthulhu. But well, at least a couple of people don't enjoy that as much. Turns out, which is a little disappointing, but fair. It's fair. Anyway. I was actually considering doing some work on my Kufufu adventure, to keep the interest and the hype alive. Still, really don't know how to to get any testing in for that. Once it's done, there's also the problem that I'm currently still running on 6th edition, and I know there was a program, I guess you would call it, where you could sell your own adventures for a couple of bucks as a creator under, I guess, official licensing. But well, for one, I don't know if that is still even going on. And on the other hand, there's also the caveat. Well, I'm running 6th edition. I don't own a 7th edition book yet, and I do believe the monetizing of something like this is required to be 7th edition if you want to do it officially, which I usually am all for. That sounded forced. Or well, not even forced. It just sounded wrong. It sounded like I was lying. Honestly, though, I do prefer the official channels with something like that, or just in general. I'm not much of a scallywag, to put it like that. But then again, that again puts me at odds with my PC. I've already rambled away almost 40 minutes. Wow, is this? Boop. I guess doing some Call of Cthulhu in this space would be something I would like to try out at some point. Of course, that requires some more peripherals, but until that point in time. Until that day comes, I'm pretty sure there's something that can be done about that. Surely. Oh. That was a bad idea. Sorry. Need to get myself an actual mic, but that's another thing. I don't. That's another thing that may work with the PS5 just from the get-go, but it might just be setup hell as well. And that can also change on a whim. Just thinking about these headsets, this headset. While if I use its wireless receiver, I just plug that in, turn on the headphones, and everything works just fine, perfectly, smoothly. If I hit the wrong button on my controller, well, everything's off, but that's because of the mic button. It's nice to have that feature. Just can't be an idiot about it, and well, I am at times. Again, this is gonna look real silly if I manage to somehow scuff this up today. 40 minutes silence at the end. But as soon as I plug it in via cord, which I would actually, I guess, prefer, it would probably also increase the quality of the mic. Yeah. As soon as I plug it in, nothing works. It's all over the place. Console tells me it should work, but doesn't. Just kind of doesn't. And that's just... it seems an issue that needs sorting out, but... Shink, shink, shink. Shink, shink, shink. Anyway, running circles, parry dancing on the different parts of the temple. Shink. In the end, all I want is a place where I can just talk about stuff, and people are held hostage with whatever topic I choose. But well, it's not much of a hostage situation if nobody's here, and if they can just leave immediately. Honestly, though. Shink, 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 shink. I guess today could be also titled as Suffering from Success. I expected to bash my head against the wall for about 4 to 4.5 hours trying to get the skin, and kind of worked out immediately. And that got followed up by another wall with the Ishin fight that I kind of got. I smashed through. Of course, it isn't the gauntlet of strength yet. Oh. No jump. No jump. No jump. It's not a good go at the fight, but it's working still. Boop. Oh, that's right, I don't have the Mortal Blade. Well, it's not that I need it. Aww. Well. Well, I guess I'm getting consistent at the fight at least. I guess with a fight like Inner Father and Our Father, I'm consistent enough and good enough at the fight that it is actual fun. As especially with someone like Ishin who has a load of tricks up his sleeve, it can also be quite frustrating. At least if you can't read him. And even if you can read him, you still get bamboozled all the time. Because, well, that is more or less the main gimmicks of Owl, as well as that he does a load of stuff. In all of his free versions. The normal Owl on the top of Ashina Castle just has all his little gimmicks and all the shinobi tools. The heal, anti-heal ball, all that poison, his shuriken. And his fake outs with the smoke bombs, I guess. But the fight itself can be quite straightforward if he, depending on how many of his little helpers he uses, how many tools he falls back onto. The Our Father fight is in general much more straightforward. I put that poorly. Horribly, I would say. The Our Father fight is much more straightforward, as in you really actually fight Owl much more than having to deal with his well, shenanigans. But Owl itself also has much more tricks up his sleeve. Although he does not need to rely on them quite as much, at least in Phase 1. Phase 1 is a fairly straightforward brawl between you and an Owl, within being quite agile, of course, and dealing quite a lot of posture damage and normal damage if he manages to hit you. He has a couple of mix-ups that make the fight harder still. And then you have the visual terror that is Phase 2, when he starts not only using the black powder to obscure your vision, but the spectral owl as well. Because that is mainly what all of that is. He's trying to obscure your vision. Just to repeat myself with that phrase. I have a kitty again. Ooh, that was loud. He's just trying to obscure your vision with all the bird, with the burb, spectral owl. And he doesn't actually do all that much. Compared to the inner father fight, where he is even more agile, he is a lot quicker on the draw with his own attacks. He's more aggressive in general. Although being aggressive doesn't necessarily mean that it's harder, as this can also lead to long clashes with between the fighters, a back and forth of parries and attacks. And there's also moments like like we had in the fight just now, where he blocks one attack, vanishes, which actually, or does he block that first attack? Does the first attack not hit? I guess he vanishes the first attack. The second one hits, and then the spinning slash can be parried again in quick succession. And if you immediately attack and follow up on that, he does the same thing again. And I guess you can chain that for 3 or 4 times before he tries jumping out of the engagement. Nope. You should not try to do that, please. Nope. Just trying to hit the microphone. But why? Why are you doing that? Why? Because you want to bite into it. Well, that's not a good reason. That isn't a good reason. I love you, but that's not a good reason. So yeah. It is a thing of interest because it's a thing that interests me. Yes, yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Isn't it? Anyway. And even then, there are a good few openings Owl gives you, and especially in the father encounters, both of them. And opposed to Ishin, there aren't as many attacks. He just poises through your hit. You can actually stagger him out of his own attack most of the time, which is especially if he. There's this one attack where he, I guess, dashes towards you, slightly to your left, and then far out to your own right, and you get the warning symbol for the low arching slash. You can jump over. Of course, either you jump that, Or you just hit him. The easiest way to deal with that attack is to just hit him once, if you realize what he's doing, which is a fairly easily spotted attack, and that staggers him out of the whole movement. Although you have to be prepared that he might try to reset into his own attack. And of course there are some of his slashes and his combos that basically land at the same time as your counter hits could, so you can trade. Although in the Souls games there is always a point in a time when you want to trade blows. I don't think it's the same with Sekiro, as most damage you deal, aside from maybe the Demon of Hatred, is merely a means to facilitate the posture bar not resetting slower. Because the more damage an opponent or a player, a character in general, has taken, the longer it takes for posture to reset to 0, so, or to whatever, or however you would call it. For posture damage to go down, I guess, is the other way to look at it. So there aren't many opponents you actually deal so much damage to that they get staggered from health loss. It happens, of course, time and time again, even. It's not that it's just occasionally, it happens quite regularly, but it's still fairly rare for bosses and should not be the main aim. That's why although that is why I also really like the Mortal Blade, as it deals quite a large amount of chunk damage. It is a simple strike, you can follow up with a second attack. The enemy will tend to try to block it. Most block staggers take long enough so they don't immediately retaliate. I guess Ishin is a bit of an exception to that, as especially his resurrected the resurrected Ishin fight tends to slap you for a second follow up to the Mortal Blade. He does not take kindly to that, especially in phase 2. But yeah, anyhow, hoop boop 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 boop. You know? The Mortal Blade deals large chunks of damage at once, making it easier to get to the breaking points where the posture of the opponent doesn't reset nearly as quickly. And you notice that over the course of the fight quite a lot. But still, in general, the HP bar of the opponent is not actually that important. At least to deplete it fully isn't important at all. It's a bonus. If it happens, it happens. You'll likely just break their posture at some point. If you keep on being aggressive, that is, and there are fights. Lady Butterfly is a prime example. Usually, Lady Butterfly will just be obnoxious, especially on your first playthrough. If you are foolish enough to attempt to do her as the first boss, well, not necessarily foolish, but stubborn enough to attempt her as a first boss and not pivot over to Gyobu, who is much easier, especially after you picked up the additional tools from the Hirata estate and bought some firecrackers along the way in Ashina. It's the firecrackers mostly, of course. But Still, Gyobu is a much easier fight, less HP, less posture, just overall. You can trap Lady Butterfly in an infinite loop. More or less two, actually. There is the rare occasion where she just really doesn't want to leave the clash with the wolf, and you can just attack 3 times, parry her twice, attack 3 times, parry her twice. I've seen that before. It happens incredibly. It's incredibly rare. Doesn't happen, well, often at all. And it's just a luck thing, of course, if she tries to jump out or not. Sometimes you can hit her out of her attempt to flee, but anyhow, if it happens, you basically just if you have the timing down to do that, you can to parry her reliably is the word I'm looking for, I guess. That's just phase 1's done, and phase 2 maybe you can have the same happen in phase 2. It's I guess even rarer because she has the additional moves and the opportunity to summon her illusions as well, so it's even less likely to happen. But I know there's also an action well. Now I call that an AI loop. It's of course it isn't really. It's just the NPC being dumb. It loops on its own accord. There's no real, or I don't know if there is actually something where you can provoke her just being like that, repetitive and easily dealt with. But I know, especially with Lady Butterfly, I know I don't think any opponent can really parry your attacks if you are actually aiming next to them and not aiming for them, which is what speedrunners usually do with Genichiro on the top of Ashina Castle. They sandwich him into one of the next to the doors and just go ham on the wall, and he can't do anything because he cannot parry or block your the edge of your swords that it just clips him. And you could do something vaguely similar to Lady Butterfly with the side dash attack. Well, can't without a target, where you dash to the side and go for the spinning slash. There was a way where you could just chain that indefinitely and she was not able to do anything but take the hit. Now, I could imagine that something like that got patched, but with Sekiro being a solely single-player game, there haven't been many patches at all for the game. And a couple of things would have been nice at some point, like a rebalancing of the skills, which I don't think happened, as unfortunately a lot of skills are quite useless, truth be told. And both the skills you get from the Ishin fights are some of the better useless skills, which is also another reason for why the Mortal Blade is so, well, just nice to have, and a reason for why I am beelining for it every single time, if I can and want to, at least. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that this time around. Then again, if I want to interact with the Child of Rejuvenating Waters, I might as well just hit them on Congo again and get the Mortal Blade. in a timely fashion. There isn't even much to... I probably could have long done that till now, instead of, well, wasting 40 minutes, an hour, rambling on for an hour. That's not how you get viewers. Rambling? Nah. Need to draw them in, but how? Parry dancing. Nope. Jumping off a cliff. Probably also not a good idea. Probably should stick the plush bear in the corner again. Have another go at that. It's a dumb idea, but probably should just follow through with that. Not that much worse than a VTuber or PNG tuber. Less interactive, more real. Maybe that's the too much uncanny valley factor. Adds too much uncanny valley to the experience. Shink, shink, shink. I parry dance on you. If you manage to... If you actually somehow arrived at this point. Joke's on you! Who's the fool now? Oh, probably me. Still, with all that. Did I get stuff done? Kinda. Did I waste time? Yeah. And no? Anyway. There will come a point when I will have a reason and a venue to talk about more about Call of Cthulhu and a lot of these things. Then again, who's stopping me now? Oh, well, I myself am. I'm going to call it. I'm not gonna do much more than these. Well, I didn't really do anything much for these past couple of hours. Well, sorry about that. But before I go, whilst I'm mainly stuck running Call of Cthulhu for a group that meets up again twice a year, 3 times a year at most currently, it's already been a month since the last game we had, and I'm considering whether or not I should keep on pushing them to meetups, or if I should just let them not notice that we've not had a Cthulhu session in over a year at some point next year. But well, whilst I'm stuck DMing or GMing for these peeps, I also had well, not a singular chance, but one of them has his own copy of the rules, and he's also GM'd the game for other friends of his. And he also did a session or two, 2 sessions, 3 sessions, a couple of them. It's been a while. Good 3 or 4 years for us. And I created a legendarily awful character. Mildly racist, but it's you know, it's a tough line to toe. I didn't intend for him to be offensive in any way. It's the fiction. I tried making this this con man who played up all the classical stereotypes you associate with a lot of the con men of the time, trying to, especially in an occult sense, fortune tellers and such. So he stylizes himself as Indian, not Native American, the Asian country, India, with these long flowing robes and turban. Despite not being, or well, he is of Indian descent, but grown and raised in New York, doesn't really speak more than a handful of words in the language. Doesn't, so maybe 5 or 6 percentiles, but always just tries to talk to people in the language, because I assume no character speaks it. And well, he's just kind of a shit show. He has no real stats that are of any use that I leveled. None of them are particularly good. There's always the hint, or there was, or at least with the 6th edition, you get the hint that you should have a couple of stats around 60, as that is the entry level for professional use with a stat. So you could theoretically make money off of the ability. I don't think I have any any one thing leveled high enough to qualify for that. But he, well, I once he how to put it, he cut off the legs of a high-ranking magic user with a hydraulic door, and that's just all you need to know. He's obnoxious. I do the worst. It's not a good character. You should, honestly. It is a fun experience for me and for me alone. If you're trying to actually play a game like Call of Cthulhu, and you should try to ensure the whole group has a good time. No matter if you're the GM or if you're a player, you should not prey on the unknowingness. What? You should not prey on your fellow players. It is mean. You always have a chance that you're not gonna have a good time, so you should not do this. Now, I've been quite lucky with my group in that regard, that they kinda accepted the train wreck that is Sharuxin. But I'm still waiting for a revenge character in the same way of what I set loose upon. my fellow players in those couple of sessions. But it never happened. Probably because they forget all the time what to do with their characters. If you can do something in good fun like this, that is this stupid, like my con man fortune teller who tries to... There's this one entry-level investigation about an auction. And the first thing I did, because one of the few skills I actually have skilled is woodworking, is I used the week of prep time we had before the auction started to just make these horribly misbegotten little wooden masks, and I tried to sell them to the auctioneer. And you know, that's the point when the dice gods start favoring you, because whatever you made may be completely out the window, horrible and useless, but then you just manage to persuade the person in charge of the auction to sell it anyway. So I was the only one who actually made a profit that day, which is hilarious in and of itself. And it's just that kind of stuff that keeps happening with characters like these. Huh? They can't actually do anything, but anything that that they manage to do is incredible. From hilarious to devastating to incredible. Which is why it's fun to play characters like that. Still, you should try to not... You shouldn't try to anger your fellow players too much. And I was being obnoxious with my character. I was trying to... In parts, I was trying to teach them a lesson about initiative, because Shuriksen is a very active character. I take initiative a lot with doing my pointless and senseless stuff in amidst all of the other... in midst of the investigating, because I may not be actually doing much investigating. I am part of the group, and I am trying to actually do something. I'm just trying to wrap the character around the investigating, and that alone is bad enough usually, or can be bad enough. Oh well. And then there's also these absurdist moments that happen with characters like this, because you don't feel the need to play them all serious. Just dangerous at times, and relieving in others. Because I know at the end of that beginner investigation, we got our hands on a book, a Mythos tome apparently. And apparently, that book has a bit of personality. So my character picked it up, had a quick glance at its innards, and the book started talking to him, whispering about, read me, trying to immediately take a hold of my poor New Yorker conman, fortune teller, whatever. And on a whim, I tried persuading the book into shutting up, and that I'll read it at home. And that's done. And then again, those are the moments the dice gods suddenly start favoring you. And well, the book listened. It got persuaded fairly quickly, and it just kind of left me alone. And I took it home and began reading at home. Not much happened afterwards. I do I do recall, but well, there was this evil magic book that tried to take over my mind, and I just told it to shut up. Well, I'll come back to you. Hmm. So yeah, that happened. There's a couple of stories like this. There's a couple of good stories from the games I run because my players are strange and they behave very differently after 10 p.m. compared to before 10 p.m. But well, I've just been standing here for ages talking and mumbling and what's it? Not much Sekiro has been occurring, which isn't a good thing, I guess. I'll make sure to mark it in the words that there isn't much gameplay. Again, this will be horrible if something's scuffed up and there is no audio of me talking. So I best check. I best check and be done with this. So I've wasted enough of your time and mine, and I'm gonna be off. Doing maybe some writing on my Cthulhu adventure, or some housekeeping. I do fear this. There's stuff that needs to be done. So see you around, I guess.